Mary's born child, Jesus Christ, was born on Rusev Day. And man will live forevermore because of Rusev Day. Oh, gravy.
WTF! WTF!
Bryan had his shirt off last night. It's time for a party. Come on! And this party is going to take the form of a video where I take a look at all of the WTF moments from last night's SmackDown Live. They've changed the line on the WWE Championship from red to black for some reason. Has somebody died? I don't think so. Oh no, wait there. That championship died when that monstrosity Jinder Mahal held it for 6 long bastard months. Jinder Mahal dresses like a champion, wrestles like a scarecrow with a stick up his arse. And next up we have AJ Styles referring to himself as Uncle Al live on SmackDown Live. Kayfabe, AJ, the kayfabe. But it's weird, isn't it, when AJ Styles wants to hug people in public, everybody around the world cheers, but when Bayley wants to do it, the older you get, the more boos you hear. And I guess it's also a WTF moment that AJ Styles would want to share some emotions with some other men, if you catch my drift.
The guy community.
And next up we have John Cena and Mr. Cena Sr. who are sat in the crowd. No, bugger me coloured. Colour me buggered. Colour me buggered. Surely after 15 years of service, John could get his dad backstage. Then again, you have to remember that John has left WWE currently to film a film where he plays a bull who doesn't like any sort of violence and prefers sniffing flowers. Something I'm sure Vince McMahon will never ever forgive him for, because Vince McMahon loves the violence. Vince's hatred for John has also been proven by the fact that John is going to be on the Christmas Day Raw and the December 26th house show at Madison Square Garden. No Christmas for you, John. Vince McMahon loves it. And next up we have Uncle Al using the word dingleberry on television in 2017. A moment where I thought I had transported all the way back to 2004, sat in my bedroom watching an episode of Bo Selector. For those of you who don't know what a dingleberry is, for those of us up here in Newcastle upon Tyne, England, it's a piece of fecal matter attached to one of the hairs in the anus. That is right, AJ Styles called the Singh brothers a bum crumb. Never trust a man who doesn't wear socks, and never trust a man whose eyebrows are a different colour to the hair on top of his head. Never ever forget that. Imagine being out in public in an arena full of hundreds of people. That's right, hundreds, because this is an episode of SmackDown Live after all. Surrounded by those hundreds of people screaming Jinder sucks, and you stand up on your own and shout, I love you, Jinder. Look at the state of you, man. So you WWE, you want to build new stars, you want to make these new faces feel like more than just new faces around the place to freshen up the women's division. So what do? You give them a jobber entrance mere weeks after their debut. Fantastic work. Come on WWE, it's normally a couple of months until you do something like that. You normally completely ruin the characters before you give them the jobber entrance. This time, Ruby Riott, you've done it the other way around. She's got no chance of succeeding. What's that? The entire SmackDown women's locker room ganging up on a new faction in town. How original is that? Where have I seen that before? How many questions can I possibly fit into one point? There's been a lot so far, hasn't there? Just in case you missed all this sarcasm, we saw this on Raw on Monday. A day before SmackDown Live did exactly the same thing. Raw is the clever kid. It's not the clever kid and clever. Raw is the fashionable kid. It's not the fashionable kid either. Raw's an in-betweener. You get some fantastic matches, but you also get Enzo Amore and Nia Jax, and then an absolution promo. If Raw's an in-betweener, why on earth are SmackDown Live copying them? Kevin's been eating the vinyls again. Dolph Ziggler's entrance starts. Dolph Ziggler's music cuts out. Dolph Ziggler's music just goes completely dead. Dolph Ziggler's music comes back on, showing you just which part of the vinyl Kevin Dunn and his massive chompers took a bite out of. You'd think after such a false start and such an obvious false start, they would have started the thing again. But then again, Kevin Dunn is a lazy bastard with massive teeth. Now, I can't say I've been paying attention too much during Baron Corbin's entrances because normally I'm rocking out. Man. But I'm sure he's normally announced at weighing at 275 pounds, but last night on SmackDown he's somehow weighing 285. Surely the laws of physics state that the more hair you lose off the top of their head, the less your rest of your body should weigh. First of all, they claim WWE.com is the new home of the Fashion Files, yet here we are watching the Fashion Files on last night's SmackDown Live. How can it have a new home when it's still in its old home? You're not telling me that Breezango and where they're on the card, they're that rich to have two homes, because they're not, are they? Just lies. It's like when they used to air WWE.com exclusive interviews back in the day on pay-per-views. How can they be exclusive to one place when we're watching it in another? It just makes no sense. Just as much sense as the Ascension being alive, proving that there is indeed an afterlife, or maybe pondering the question whether our life is actually real at all. And next up we have a sign that reads, Baron Corbin prefers Gold Star. Now I have no Scooby-Doo what this Gold Star could be in reference to, so I've written down every single possible option. Let's just have a nice little trip through the Gold Star. What's wrong with me voice? Here we go. The gym, the records, the studios, Gold Star Chili, a restaurant located in Cincinnati, Ohio, known for serving its Cincinnati-style chili. The beer, the former Korean electronics company and predecessor to LG Electronics, the online discount ticket retailer for entertainment events. A star on a United States service flag, gold of course, representing a family member who died in the military service doing the service. The Australian motorsport company, The Bridge, or finally, in what I guess is the least likely option, and I'm going to read this word for word so I don't get it wrong, a gold star lesbian, which is a term used by the LGBT community to describe a lesbian who has never had romantic or sexual relationships with a man. Oh God. That sign there reads the modern day Maharambi. Colin Delaney back in WWE after 9 long years away, WTF, but the biggest WTF moment of it all is the fact that the man seems to have finally hit puberty and gained the ability to grow some sick facial hair, something I couldn't be more jealous of. But at least there's hope. Last night's great moment in WWE history, brought to you by Snickers, was The Rock's return in 2011, where he cut a promo where he said this line that I'm going to read verbatim while the screen turns around. I want to tell you thank you, I love you, and it is because of you that I am back in this ring, and it is because of you, and I give you my word, I am never ever going away. Rocky, It's just like when me dad left all over again. I'd like to see that man there in his 2 beer cans and the rest of the beer cans in all of his pockets try to say yep, the yep movement that he's supporting very heavily there. I bet it would come out something like if Sarah Logan tried to say yep herself. There, Big Bull is our daddy and our uncle. Biggie likes incest. 12/25 is going to be renamed Rusev Day. What on earth is that man smoking? It already is Rusev Day because, as we all know, my Bane spirit animal was born on December 25th. That is correct. Rusev is the baby Jesus. What is it with wrestlers and having more than one dinner table in their hooses? Now, back in the day, in a former life, we went and spoke to AJ Styles where he spoke about putting food on his table, his wife's table, his kids' tables, and then last night on SmackDown Live, Sami Zayn as well said that he's got more than one table in his house. What the hell's going on? Why can't they all just sit at the same table? So there's going to be 2 referees on Sunday in that main event. That match is going to hurt our brains, isn't it? More on this later. And next up we have Aiden English, who said he was going to finish the song he started last week on SmackDown Live and then started the 12 days at Rusev at 8, counting backwards to 1. There's 12 days, Aiden, pal, and this is how it's done.
On the 12th day of Rusev, that brute he gave to me 12 sexy 8s, 11 pouting putins, 10 lads a leaping, 9 dirty loincloths, 8 Lawrence crushing, 7 naked angels, 6 Mama Rusev, 5 babushkas, rest in peace, 4 Russian tanks, 3 cold fish, 2 Rusev shirts, and a tie. Team victory. Oh, Machka Christmas.
And next up we have Tom Phillips face fornicating the crap out of another line on commentary when he claimed that Randy Orton handpicked Shinsuke Nax to be his partner this Sunday at Clash of Champions. That's not how it happened. As we all saw last week, Randy Orton was getting the literal snake juice beaten out of him before Shinsuke Nax came down the ramp and helped him out for absolutely no reason. Randy Orton stood there, said, well, there's nobody else here to help us. Let we go, Shinsuke Nax, you'll be me partner, Mara. And next up we have the commentary team and Daniel Bryan, who are putting over very heavily the fact that there's never ever been a match with 2 referees in WWE before. this smile means that has. Triple H versus Mankind, August the 16th, 1999, WWE Raw, Shane McMahon and Shawn Michaels, 2 referees in an exact same match. So since I'm not mentioning this and trying to cover up the fact it ever happened, here is what is going to happen on Sunday. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to try and bring a chair into the ring. Shane McMahon will block them. And then the match will finish with one man hitting a move on another man and then both referees counting 3 at the exact same time, which is what happened in that Raw main event back on August the 16th in 1999. Take that one to the bank, will you? What a knobhead Byron Saxton is when he was saying nothing people do outside of WWE counts. Now, unless you're a gorgeous American football player or some kind of lovely fitness model, everything you do outside of WWE counts, or how else do you get to WWE? People build legacies on the independent scene, which gets them to the promised land, Byron, you absolutely ignorant numpty. Or as Sam the Shred, the driver, has just pointed out off camera there, is Byron being told to have a little subliminal dig at Chris Jericho, who is of course appearing at Wrestle Kingdom 12 on January the 4th against Kenny Omega and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Sexual harassment in the workplace still counts, Daniel Bryan, even if you are a little goat, you cheeky scamp. You can't just take people's clothes off like that, you creep. I'll read. And that's it for your WTF moments from this week's SmackDown Live. I've been Ross from Cultaholic.com. Follow me on the Twitter machine at RossOnWrestling. Pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you can afford to give us will be greatly appreciated and reinvested to make more lovely content than we already are. But most importantly, do not forget to join us.